What's up, CBS Sports HQ YouTube fans? I'm Erik Kuselias, and I'll be breaking down the AFC North Division today with futures, picks, props, and more. Here we go. Yeah, Baltimore, I'm Erik Kuselias. Look, I love Charm City. I love the Ravens. I love their coach. Why? All they do is win, win, win no matter what. Even in the preseason, 19 in a row, tied for the all-time record. Now, what about the Ravens this year? They're at 10.5. Give me the over. Their road games, when we look at the schedule, they're all winnable. Every road game they have is winnable, and you know they're going to be good at home. I love this team to be over here. Look, where are they not? At Raiders, at Lions, at Broncos, at Dolphins, at Bears, at Steelers, who I think are going to be down, at Cleveland, at Bengals. That's it. They could win every road game. I'm not sure, except for maybe at Cleveland. They might be favored in a bunch of these road games. Give me the over there. All right. And you know about this team. First in rushing, last in passing. In fact, Lamar Jackson has one 300-yard passing game in his life in the NFL. And it was last year, week 1, against Miami that got really lit up in the first half of the year. But he does run it and run it well. But here's the myth. Despite all his rushing touchdowns, he never runs it in from close range. As a matter of fact, he didn't have a single carry inside the 4-yard line last year, which is why I love J.K. Dobbins. Everybody is sleeping on him. He is a fantasy gold player right now. He is going to outperform his draft position. I promise you. They run the ball in over 20 touchdowns rushing every year. He's going to get the lion's share of that. You can book him for 12 touchdowns. He is my guy. All right, fantasy-wise, Lamar Jackson is totally based on how your league scores because he's such an unusual player. J.K. Dobbins is a top 12 guy. You want to draft him earlier than other people are thinking about. Don't let him get by you. The wide receivers, they should all go to somewhere else because they don't throw the ball much. I like Justin Tucker as a kicker, but at the end of the day, this is a team that if you look at it, it's J.K. Dobbins and Lamar Jackson, which would be a nice stack if you can get him in fantasy as well. Yeah, Steelers. I'm Erik Kuselias. Look, you know about Pittsburgh last year, right? Started 11-0. We had odds up. Are they going to go undefeated? And then thud. 1-6 down the stretch and lost to little brother Cleveland in the playoffs. And it was UGO. Well, you ain't got no alibi. But, you know, Pittsburgh, they find a way to bounce back. 17 years without a losing season. Next most is 9. How about that? Yikes. Go Pittsburgh. Make your kids Steeler fans. Their over-under right now is 8.5. I kind of like the under. I liked it better at 9. It just dropped down to 8.5, but I liked it better at 9, but I don't think they're going to get there. They have the hardest schedule in the league, according to the metric, so I'm not really thrilled about the Steelers. Plus, they have an old quarterback, and my player prop for this team is going to be Ben Roethlisberger under 3,950.5 passing yards. I worry about the health. I don't think he's going to be able to play 17 games. He had a monster quiet season with 33 touchdowns last year. Still only had 3,800 yards passing in 15 games. If he doesn't play all 17, there's no way he gets there. And if he does, that best of 50-50 that he gets there. So I'll play against Roethlisberger playing 17 games, and I'll do that in a big way. Fantasy-wise, look, Najee Harris is tempting. He's sexy. I get it, but he's going to go too early. They have a terrible offensive line. We've talked to our people in Pittsburgh, and they're like, it's bad. And I don't like guys behind bad offensive lines. Wide receivers, too many mouths to feed. Juju, Chase Claypool, Deontay Johnson. Now, if I'm going to play anybody, it'll be Deontay Johnson. In his last 16 games, Deontay Johnson, 111 receptions, 1,200 yards, 8 touchdowns. In a PPR, I do like him, and I will play his prop over 975.5 yards. But the other guys, not thrilled. So I will take Deontay Johnson in terms of the prop. I will bet against Ben Roethlisberger as a prop, and I'm going to let everybody else take the Jujus and the Chase Claypools and the Najee Harris. Good luck, Pittsburgh. Yeah, Cleveland. I'm Erik Kuselias. Look, you know Cleveland's a team I've always played against, right? They're a flash team. They're yappers, not a lot of substance. But then last year I said, nope, this is the year it sort of switches because they had a good offensive line and good defense. I believed, and I thank them for paying off with a very good 11-5 season. What about this year? They're at 10.5. Man, that feels about right. I liked it better at 10. It just jumped to 10.5. I sort of will play the over, but this is a lean at best. That's not where I want to head. 10 and 11 wins feels about right. Schedule isn't bad. Should be favored in all 9 home games. Look at the home games here. Texans, Bears, Broncos, Steelers, Cardinals, Lions. I mean, where's the monster game at home? They should be favored in a lot of those home games, which is why I will lean over that 10.5 despite the fact that it's a big number. All right, now, if you look at about Baker Mayfield's props, he's about 4,000 yards, 28.5 touchdowns. That feels about right. But one guy does catch my eye on this team. Everything that I do and put into my computer spits out, Nick Chubb is going to have a monster year. I know he got hurt last year. He's only projected to miss one game on the injury bug report. He had 12 touchdowns in less than 12 games. I know he's better in non-PPR, but he's going to be great in any format. He is going to be a beast. He is my number 4 or 5 running back. I'm taking him way earlier than any of our guys, and he's number 1 in the NFL in yards after contact, and that includes Derrick Henry. Love him. And my player prop is going to be Nick Chubb to win the rushing title at plus 700. That is excellent value. Chubb, love him, get him, bet him. You'll be happy. You're welcome. Yeah, Cincy, that's right. Bengals. Now, look, last year was another punch to the solar plexus. If you were a Bengal fan, your quarterback ripped up his knee, he went 4-11-1. And here's your shocking stat. For the 30th straight season, you didn't win a playoff game. That's right, 30 straight years without a playoff win, longest in the NFL. This year, you're at 6.5. I'm going to stay away. It feels about right. It could be 6 wins, maybe 7 and 10 if it falls right. You'll know early when you look at the schedule. You know, we divide the season into quarters. I've been told this by more than one general manager. That first quarter, there you go. Vikings, Bears, at Steelers, Jacksonville. Winnable games. I mean, if you're 0-4 there, you're in real trouble. If you're 1-3, you got real trouble. But maybe you can get off to a good start and get going. Now, in terms of fantasy, I call it the Joe Mixon effect. When you have a really good player that's in a really bad spot. Every time I talk to a defensive player, I'm like, who's the guy, who's the tough hombre you don't want to tackle? They're like, Mixon. Mixon's the underrated guy, but he's a bad offensive line, and I don't take good running backs with bad offensive lines too early. I don't want any part of that. Yikes. I know Jamar Chase keeps dropping every pass his way, but he's going to be fine. But the prop I want to play is this. It almost seems wrong. T. Higgins under 9.5 touchdown receptions. What are we missing here? Why are we not running the window? Bet him under. He had 6 last year. 10 is a lot. And they have Jamar Chase. And they have Tyler Boyd. And they have other players. And they have Mixon. Under. You'll be thrilled. Now, I do like Burrow, and he will put up yards. In fact, Burrow played 10 games last year, and in only 10 games, he set the Bengal franchise record. He tied it with 5 300-yard games. I like Burrow, but I'll play against T. Higgins on the touchdowns. That is one of your best plays anywhere all year long.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.